Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the We're Not Stumped podcast. I'm your host, Mike Bolland, and today is October 15th. I say it every week. Can you believe how quickly this year is going? Thursday, October 15th of 2025. One of the things I want to start out with is something new, a new feature that I just came out with. It actually came out October 14th, and that's a mini documentary. I'm going to start doing more mini documentaries as opposed to just the podcast, and they're going to highlight people in the disabled and limb loss communities. The first episode is about Harold Russell, and it came out, like I said, on October 14th. For those of you that don't know Harold Russell, he was a World War II veteran that didn't actually get deployed because he was an instructor in North Carolina. A TNT detonated and he lost both of his hands. But if you think that was the end of his story, it was actually the beginning. He's an Academy Award-winning actor, and he did so much for the limb loss and disabled communities, and I was very excited to be able to do a mini documentary on him. So to find it, I'll have links to in the description of this podcast, but also you can also go to my personal YouTube page, I'm Not Stumped, and by the way, my name is Mike Bolland, so I'm Not Stumped or Mike Bolland, and I have a playlist on there called Unbreakable, and that's where the mini documentaries are going to live. Please take a look at Harold Russell and let me know your thoughts. Matter of fact, if you have a candidate that possibly you'd like to see highlighted next, let me know, and I'd be happy to consider it. I have a few already that I'm looking to do. Number two, if you happen to be in the Mesa, Arizona area on the second and fourth Sundays of every month, myself and my partner, Kristen Levanway, we have an event called Espresso Yourself If You Have a Latte to Say, which, by the way, you can find at alattetosay.com. And what this is a speaking event where people of all abilities, whether you're nervous, whether you're a newcomer, whether you're polished, you can get up in a microphone in front of people and practice your speaking ability. That's one of the hardest things that we all have to do, or all want to do, let's say it that way. But it's also something that, as I talk to people on this podcast, it's something that a lot of people aspire to do because they want to give back. Well, if you happen to be in the Mesa, Arizona area, please come see me at Jared's Coffee and Tea. That's on University, I think it's 109 West University in Mesa, Arizona, the second and fourth Sundays of every month. Get some good practice in and meet some really good and encouraging people. And the last thing I want to talk about is something I noticed very recently. I volunteer on Tuesday nights for Arizona Disabled Sports with their bowling program. And there's people of different abilities and disabilities in that program. One of the people her name is Rumi, and she's 14 years old. And by the way, great conversations with her and her mom. Her mom asked if she can be on my podcast, so we're setting up the time to do that soon. I know that anyone that's younger, I can't just have them on the podcast. I need their parents' permission. But I'm very happy to say Karen, and thank you so much, Karen. Rumi's mom, Karen, said she'd be honored to be on the podcast, so I can't wait to have her on. But I was watching her a couple weeks ago, and I was just looking at the way she handles herself, how she talks, and the smile, and I had an epiphany, and I want to share it with everyone in the community. I'm beginning to understand the success or the mindset of people in the limb loss community and where you kind of need to get to really get your life wherever you want it to be. And I just thought of it when I was watching her. It's I don't give I'll say crap. You can put in any other word you want. I don't give a crap attitude. She goes there. Her head's held high. She has fun. She's laughing. I honestly thought, I had to do some self-reflection, and I'm thinking, well, that's kind of the attitude I have. I love having one hand, and I could see that she does as well. And some of the people that have been on the podcast, whether it be Dan Moses, a bilateral below knee amputee, Jennifer J.J. Johnson, a bilateral above knee amputee. Recently, I had Naomi Flores on. She is a left below knee amputee. Very recent episode. You got to hear her episode. It's just fantastic. Stevia Walker, LaTanya Billups. I mean, the names just keep going on and on and on. Carter Viss, Bruce Manzan. I don't want to. The problem is when you start naming people, it's almost like having your kids. Everyone's important that's ever been on this podcast. So believe me, if your name isn't coming up right now, doesn't mean I've forgotten you or you're not very important to me. I'm just trying to make a point. The people that have been on this podcast that have navigated some of the most difficult things, they all have that one attitude in order or top of mind. And it's like, I don't give a crap. I don't care. And it doesn't come overnight. So let's cut right to the chase. There are times in everyone's life, including mine, we're all human. We're going to have our ups and we're going to have our downs. But for the most part, when you go out and you're in public and you get stared at, which we all know we do, hey, I don't care. You got something to say? Come on, say it. Meaning in a positive way. You got a question? Let me know. Come on up. I don't care. I'm me. I have to live my life. This is the only life I'm going to be given. And just because, in my case, I'm missing a right hand, doesn't mean I can't live it to the fullest and the most happiest. And the way to do that, the mindset that I've seen just by interviewing, like I said, the people, being at Empower Fest a couple weeks ago, it's like, I don't give a crap. I don't care. Do whatever you want to me. I've already been through some crap myself, so I have an I don't care attitude. And I wrote down some tips that pretty much puts my thoughts together, what I've learned personally and what I've learned from others on the podcast. Practice unapologetic self-expression. If you have a problem, you need to be your biggest voice. I think we all know that. Be your own self-advocate. That's part of this self-expression. But even self-expression within your friend circles. Sometimes you need to be the squeaky wheel. Don't apologize for it. Be yourself. You are still a very major part of society, and you can have the greatest days of your life ahead of you, regardless of what happened to you a few years ago, if you just recently joined the limb loss community. That's kind of the story of Harold Russell. So if nothing else, go watch that documentary I put together that just came out on October 14th. Again, go to I'm Not Stumped, go to the Unbreakable section, the mini documentary, and look up Harold Russell. He was an amazing person that lost both hands, that he kicked ass he kicked ass and took names after he lost his hands. Laugh at setbacks. Now, I got to be honest, there's times where I have problems with that. I mean, define setback. For some people, setbacks are going to be my prosthetic. I'm just not getting it. I'm not doing it. I'm not working. It's not working like I thought it should. For me, sometimes my setbacks are, I know I can do X, Y, or Z with one hand, but it's just not working out. And there'll be times that I get a little frustrated. It's natural, but try to laugh at it. Try to laugh at it. Well, yeah, I guess I can't hold that socket wrench on that side. There's always a way to do it. There's always a way to figure things out. I was talking to Rumi last night, as a matter of fact, on how we have to use our teeth for everything as a one-handed person. So there's always something to laugh about, and there's always some way to do it. But you're going to have setbacks. And instead of getting frustrated, which, again, I'll raise my only hand and say sometimes I do, try to laugh at it. Try to laugh at those setbacks. Surround yourself with supportive people. I'll tell you, that's a very important one. As exemplified by EmpowerFest a couple of weeks ago, everyone I met, I got to meet Stevia Walker in person. I met Naomi Flores. She's been on the podcast. That's a very powerful episode. So if you haven't heard that episode, go back and listen to Naomi Flores. She is a below left knee amputee, and what a story. But everyone that's been on this podcast has just been tremendous. And being able to meet them and go to a place where a lot of other people like us are, and they're uplifting and supportive, it just makes they just help you mentally. There's no question about it. The thing is about being in the limb loss community, you're not going to be hanging out, generally speaking, you're not going to be hanging out with people like you. It's just not, I don't hang out with people with one hand. But you could still, while you can't choose your family, you can still choose who you hang out with, maybe externally, and just make sure they're supportive and fun people to hang out with, uplifting people, and it'll help you. That's a big tip. And lastly, focus on your strengths and goals, not others' expectations. Wow, that's a big one. I just interviewed a gentleman named Josh Green. He is the founder of the Northeast Ohio Amputee Support Group. He also works at Lime Cooler Prosthetics. And I asked him a question: what advice would you give others in the limb loss community that maybe are just starting out? And that's exactly what he said. And he's worked with a lot of people. He said the same thing. And that is it's a common thread, even with the people that I have on the podcast here. don't compare yourself. We're all human. Again, just like sometimes it's hard to laugh at ourselves, it's hard not to compare yourself to others sometimes too. I get it, but try not to. Focus on your victories. One of the things I do when I work out, I write everything down. Like, did I do 50 push-ups? And if I did 50 push-ups on that round, next week I'm going to try to do 51. If I don't, I still did 50. And you have that constant reminder of where you're at. It's all about little victories. And what Josh was saying, he's a right above knee amputee. He was talking about, hey, if I took 15 steps today, I'm going to try to take 16 tomorrow. It's the same mindset. Keep pushing forward and focus on your strengths and your progress, and do not compare yourself to others. So those are just some of the tips, the I don't give a crap attitude that I just love, that I really, it hit me in the face the other day when I was watching Rumi and watching a gentleman named Kelly who is a bilateral above knee amputee, and he's out there bowling. We have a great time. So, by the way, if you happen to be in the Mesa, Arizona area, and you want to find out more about the adaptive bowling program we have at Arizona Disabled Sports, reach out to me. Type in Arizona Disabled Sports in your browser. You can find out more. We'd love to have you there. It's only $5 a week, and we just have a good time. It's at Gilbert and Southern in Mesa, and I can't recommend it enough. I've actually been volunteering in that program for 3 years, and I'm going to do more of it because we just have a great time. So that's it for this episode of the We're Not Stumped podcast. And if you got this far, I don't give a crap. See, that's the theme. Now I'm even laughing at myself. No, honestly, thank you so much for listening to the We're Not Stumped podcast. If you made it this far, please do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe. It helps more than you know. And as I end every one of these Thursday episodes, I want to just remind everyone to have a great week.